met the Americans, and genuinely he likes them. He considered that he could get along with them. For us, we did not have many opportunities to see them, but I believe that Colonel Lansdale, now he's a general, was a good friend, as many, and but like Ambassador Nolting also, but those who are our good friends were dismissed.
Madam, during the museum period, you were known as the First Lady of Vietnam. Could you define your role a little bit?
Oh no, this is too complicated, and if it would make volumes to speak of how I was caught by the skin of the neck like a kitten and thrown in an arena. Arena, you see? Yes, and it was.
Excellent.
Madam, during this young period, you were known as the First Lady of Vietnam. Could you define your role first?
My role? No, it is too difficult to define it. I can just say that I was taken by the skin of the neck by God, and like a little kitten thrown in an arena, and with the lions. But I believe that it is just because I was born under the sign of the lion, and that God believes that I can get along with them. But in fact, it is too long a story to speak of it. I have already written at least 3 volumes about it, so I prefer to reserve it.
What about how the Western press defined you? For instance, there was this thing of calling you the Dragon Lady. Would you like to comment on that?
I believe that when they call me like this, it is just because they see that I looked fearless, and it is true. My husband, he was very unhappy with, on one side, his brother, the other side, his wife. He considered both of us as babes in the woods, who absolutely, how do you say, inconscient. That means we have no sense of the reality, that to jump in the fray and you don't have the impression that you are fighting ferocious beasts. And he said all the time that to his brother, you should be a monk, and you, to me, you should stay home and be a quiet housewife. And I said, of course
Sorry. Take 8, roll 4.
If I'm left to myself, surely I would follow immediately the advice of my husband, just to return home, to knit, to sew, to cook. It is really the only things I like in life. But when I was in my country, people went to me, and they asked me, you should do this, you should do that. And I see very well that if I did not do those things, nobody would do it. That's why I have organized everything in such a way that I can pass over to them immediately, because I did not like the life I led at that time, not at all. And they called me Dragon Lady, because they see that they saw that I was absolutely determined, that nothing could stop me. That the only thing if they want to stop me, they must explain to me in what way I was wrong. If they cannot explain it, I didn't care. And because of that, they saw very well that I was afraid of nothing. And you see why that calling came? They invited me, the press invited me to go. At first they said, Mr. No news, good news. They must leave the country. So they invited me to go to explain my position at on the U.S. platforms, you see, on the with the press. When I left my country, hardly I arrived in Belgrade only at that time. It was said to me that from the State Department that I should not go, I ought not to go to the States because they would not guarantee my safety. So they invite me in order for me to leave the country, but as soon as I leave my country, don't come. I say, no, I have left my country just to go there. And the US will show to the world if they are capable or not to defend a weak woman on their territory. And
so by this time, so this is October 1963.
Yes, exactly.
You already were disillusioned with the Americans?
Oh, but at the time it started, they invited me, and after I left my country, they told me that. Of course, that I was disillusioned. Disillusioned. And because of that, everybody said, but considered me as a dragon lady because I just challenged them. That's all.
Madam, what about your husband? How would you define his role?
He was everything in Vietnam. He organized the country when the president was away, and when the president returned, everything was there to greet him. And without him, the president would not be, I don't think that it would be easy for him to rule the country, to govern the country. That's why when it was requested, he was requested to send away my husband. He said it was absolutely a stupid demand, because he knew very well that my husband can do without him, but he could not do without my husband. But my husband is, I believe that he was too much ahead of his time, of his people. Someday people will understand. Now I cannot explain here like this.
Take 9.
We've talked a bit about the Buddhist crisis in 1963. During that time, there was a quote which you allegedly made, which had a lot of play in the Western press. A quote in which you allegedly said that you were happy when the Bonzes barbecued themselves. Would you comment on that quote?
Oh, but I had just to comment about what I said on the Buddhist. I had the opportunity to do it several times, and the only thing I can say that everybody, if they are confronted or things like that, they finally have to go to the same solution. That means with people mad of glory or false glory, who accept to be drugged and to be burned to death, and for rights which have never been contested by anyone, and what to do to stop them accepting to be murdered by the plotters. The only thing I could do at that time is to ridicule them. Because as long as it was emphasized as something absolutely deserving of praise, of course there will be always people mad of false glory who would accept it. I have to do the contrary.